What's poppin', everybody? It's a Saber Fighting 4. Today we're gonna be looking at a Cynthia's Garchomp EX deck. I call this Top Babe Chop because obviously Cynthia's a top babe. This deck is pretty cool because Garchomp is just a very simple and very strong Pokemon. Plus they gave it Roserade to boost the damage even further. So you get another very simplistic but effective deck if you build it right. 330 HP stage 2 EX, and it has free retreat too. What the hell? This guy makes Charizard look modest. And that's what pisses me off because, as I've said, you get these stage 2 Pokemon with everything perfect on them, like 2 great attacks, excellent HP and free retreat. And then Salamence has less HP, double retreat, and worse attacks. So Corkscrew Dive. Did I say it right? Corkscrew Dive. Yeah, it's a tongue twister. But this is your 100 for 1 attack, and it also lets you draw into F6 cards. So what this means is that if you try and just desperately get this dude out using Ultra Ball and you dump supporters, you can just get him out, attack, and then draw cards that way, and you're still good. It's very effective, trust me. And then Draconic Buster. It's a 2 fighting for 260, and then you discard all energies from this Pokemon. This is already really strong, but when you boost it further with Roserade, it means that this guy can get into the range to get 1-hit KOs on 280, stage 1 EX Pokemon, and even stage 2s with the right support. So it's broken. Now, if you time it right, the discards don't really hurt, plus he has free retreat, so, there's just all sorts of good stuff you can do when you got all of these things together. So we max him out, of course. And then I do the double Gabite. Now, maybe some of you think this guy should be played in 3s and 4s, but I find that it's too slow. I did have more, but then I found out just trying to evolve into a Gabite first and then evolve into the Garchomp, and then it's too slow. I still would want to favor Rare Candy and just see if I can get Garchomp out quickly that way. Now, obviously, it's still good. You gotta run 2, and it helps you get your other Cynthia's Pokemon. I suppose if you run this and then you try and play first and run the disc, so you attack, get into the stage 1, and then on your turn you can use his ability and get into the stage 2s and then attack. Okay. Oh, play second, I guess, and then you go for the TM attack, similar to what I used to do with Torterra. Then it could work, but I'm not trying to go in this direction. I'm still just trying to favor Rare Candy. So 2 copies of this, pretty nice. 100 HP is bad. 40 for 1, whatever. And then the Gibble, obligatory Gibble, still the 70 HP, but we can use the Pofins. I guess that's what they're going to do now. They're going to have all of these small Pokemon with 70 HP, which is bad, so that at least you can do the Pofin to get them. Anyway, we'll see what happens in the next era, but I already know. Rock Hurl, 20 for 1, not affected by resistance. Pretty weak as usual, but that's what we got. So a 4-2-4 line. Then I do a 4-3 Roserade line. I did a full 4, but I've noticed that I need more space for, consistency cards, so I cut a Roserade. I still got the Roselia because it's a basic Pokemon that's relevant in our strategy, so might as well, as opposed to something else. This is also 70 HP, which is a bit strange when you think about it, because Roserade, Roselia, it originally was just a basic Pokemon that didn't have any evolutions or pre-evolutions, and then it got that in Gen 4, a pre-evolution and an evolution. But because it's 70 HP, it means we can still get it with the Pofin, so it works out. And then Roserade, 130 HP. Don't like this kind of HP. It should have been like 160, 170. I don't care what anybody says. Stage 1, that's how it needs to be. And then the stage 2s, they go like over 200. But whatever, it's got 1 retreat, so I don't gotta worry about it getting stuck. If they decide to get it stuck, I can move it out of the way. So that's great. That goes for all the Pokemon in here. You got either a free retreat or 1 retreat. So it helps. And then, if you don't know what this card does, attacks used by your Cynthia's Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon before applying weakness and resistance, of course. And this does stack. So if you get a lot of these out, you get a pretty big bonus. If I get all 3 of them out, it's a plus 90. So you kill any stage 2 EX Pokemon. And if you get 2 of them, then you hit for 320, so you hit a lot of stage 2 EX Pokemon, like Dragapult is a good example. The ones that are 330 won't die, but you guys get what I mean. And then the last Pokemon is this Cynthia Spiritomb. This card is a good sort of, I guess, regular Pokemon revenge counter. If they hit Garchomp for a lot of damage and don't kill him, then you can just retreat, put an energy on the Spiritomb, and then this card does as much damage as all the damage to all of your Cynthia's Pokemon on the bench. So you can hit for some insane damage if your opponent doesn't kill and attack your guys correctly. And it is going to get the boost from Roserade too, which is even sweeter. So that's the one function. The other function is on the off chance I play against Mimikyu, this is the only counter that we can use to just attack it, I guess. Don't play it down immediately unless you have to, you know that, okay, there's no Mimikyu shit, whatever. So that they hit your guy, and then you can retreat, get the Spiritomb down, and then attack, and just kill it. It also has a different type too, Darkness. That can be pretty good. Hit some things for weakness. Okay, so 10 basics. Not too many Pokemon, I'd say, considering we run stage 1 and a stage 2 line. I only got 10 energies. You gotta make sure you use them right. I did have 9, but I found myself needing an extra one. Maybe you use one to retreat. You might have to discard one, unfortunately, or when this guy attacks and then you discard with Draconic Buster. But 10 is a decent amount. I don't have any other recovery cards either, if I remember right. And then the trainer cards, the standard stuff you'd expect. We got the 4 Poffins and 3 Nest Balls to get those basic Pokemon. Triple Ultra Ball to get these stage 2s and Roserade. And then max out the rare candy. Remember, if you just dump a lot of cards from your hand and then you attack with Corkscrew Dive, you draw a bunch of cards back, so it's great. Garchomp is just great like this. What else? I got a Pokemon tool here, and it's Cynthia's Power Weight. So this is the only like trainer card Cynthia got. I guess it's like with Steven, they only gave him like 1 card. Steven got a Stadium, Cynthia gets this tool. Plus 70 HP on your Cynthia Pokemon. So this is a broken ass tool. It turns this guy into a 400 HP Pokemon. Obviously, it combos even better with Spiritomb. Hits you for a lot of damage, they still can't kill you. You do more damage with Spiritomb. You can turn Roserade to 200 HP Pokemon. Even the small guys, you can just boost their HP before you get to the Garchomp, and they're harder to kill. And even Spiritomb too, if you want to make it 140, you can. I guess maybe make it a little bit better to survive against Dragapult and Spread. So this tool is really broken. If I had the space, I'd run 4, but it's just, we gotta make the deck consistent enough, and there's a pretty fine balance when you build it the way I do. So 3 of this and then 2 of the Arven, it's just enough, okay? What else do I got? The ace pick of choice is gonna be the Scoop Up Cyclone. This acts as my only like switching outlet here, and obviously if we can tank so much damage, healing with this is great. Plus, Garchomp is just a very easy to use Pokemon and needing 2 energies to attack. So you use this, get the energy in hand, get the Garchomp in hand, and then evolve again. Attach the energy, attack for 100. Gotta keep in mind that if you get a bunch of the Roserades out, then 100 hits for 160 or 190. So that's enough to do 2 hit KOs. So that's pretty effective as well. So these boosts go a long way, for sure. You should be able to 2-shot basically anything between Corkscrew Drive and Draconic Buster. Nothing's going to survive. Okay? Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, Scoop Up Cyclone, ace pick of choice. Makes a lot of sense. You can do the plus 50 tool if you'd like. You can do maybe a Prime Catcher if you want to do that. There's a bunch of options this guy would be really good with. But I decided Scoop Up Cyclone works. Alright. And then the last thing to talk about, supporters. Double Arven, since I got a few tools, plus there's a way to me to get that rare candy super quick. And then it doesn't matter that it doesn't give me a lot of cards. If I just use this, get the candy, get the tool, evolving the Garchomp and attack, I'm drawing stuff anyway. So once again, it makes sense. The full playset of Iono, self-explanatory, and then triple Youngster, shuffle and draw, and triple Iris. Good, solid discard and draw. And the boss's orders, can't forget. One of, use it at the right time. And that's the deck. It's pretty simple. It's not the only way to run it. You can do a bunch of stuff. I've seen people use Munkidori with it too. You can obviously just disregard Rare Candy or not run as many and then favor more of the Gabite and set up a little bit slower that way. But I want the fast approach. Simple like that. And yeah, it's a decent little deck. If you don't get like some ridiculously bricked out hands, which of course I have the luck to get, or play against some really bad matchups. I mean, this guy's weakness to grass, it can be a bitch, to be honest. The Team Rockets deck, they got the Spite up, so it's just, if they use that, it's just too easy to kill this guy in one shot. And you don't really got any benefit. So it completely messes up this whole strategy. Now, I guess you got Spiritomb to hit the Mewtwo, but if you don't got Pokemon with damage counters, the Garchomp is dead, it doesn't work out for you, so yeah. And this thing is also weak to grass. So it does have weaknesses. I mean, any Ogre being still played with Raging Bull, or other random grass decks, they're going to give you trouble. Of course, the ×2 weakness is always going to be shit in this day and age. That's why I want it to go away, and I want plus weaknesses to come back. Because it almost means that you get an auto loss when you go against a deck that hits you for weakness. But that's the deck, guys. Cynthia's Garchomp. Hope you enjoyed seeing it. I'll post a bunch of matches too, of course. And if you're worried that I haven't done Team Rocket yet, don't worry. I will do Team Rocket. There's a bunch of different Team Rocket decks I plan to build. You can do a bunch of different ones. The standard Mewtwo, you can do with Weezing. There's Porygon Z2. You can do a bunch of shit. So don't worry. I will get to those eventually. But there's just a lot of different attacking Pokemon in this deck, in this set you can build decks with. So yeah, be patient. So sub to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What-ay?